This is pretty dang exciting. I got 3 clutches here and an adult male. So the adult male is mine. He's a wild-caught Jampea. Jampeas are the first Retics I ever had. They're kind of like the original dwarf, and I think people just sort of forgot about them lately, forgot how cool they are for like the last decade, so nobody's bred any or produced any, and we just got a clutch. So it's my first snake. I've never produced them before, and I sent my male over to John Cashman in California to hit his female, and we got a clutch. So this is kind of like, you know, me coming up on 40 years old or however old I am, going back and restoring my original, you know, like my first vehicle or something. It's pretty cool. Here's the wild-caught male. This is part of the reason why it's so cool. This is an old man, but he's pretty small. Jampeas seem to vary a lot in size, but this is the wild-caught Jamp male. What's up, buddy? Good looking boy. They're known for having like a single scale wide, very uniform pattern. And these wild looks, you know, they tend to be a little bit more aberrant, a little less perfect because there isn't the selective breeding going on. We're gonna sit him in here until we can get him set up. Big proven male now. I have a wild-caught female as well, so hopefully we'll be able to make our own brand new bloodline. But for the time being, he was bred to an animal produced by Sean DeBoard, which he used to have a bloodline they would call Pastels or Hypos back in the day, and they were producing brilliant light-colored Anerys before they even knew Anery was a thing. Okay, check this out. So, a few different clutches here. The first one, these are 75% Jampeas Anerys. Look at those Anerys. Jampeas, I just think they're the most beautiful. Look at this great packing job that John did. Guy's top notch, that's why I work with him. But these are so clean, there's like almost no speckling in the sides and the backgrounds. Just clean, perfect, beautiful Anery. John keeps having Partho clutches over there, which means that they're a clone of their mom. So we have a clutch of pure Super Dwarves, which was a smaller clutch. And these are like, I don't know, you see a lot of the pure Jampeas stuff going on these days. That's these. They're old school bloodlines, you know, like that were bred before locality data was known. And we bred it to a pure Calatoa wild-caught animal. So they're F1s. And you can see these look like a Calatoa. I mean, look at the difference between them and some of these Jamps. Thing is, Jamps are Jampeas too, so when you say pure Jampeas, it really doesn't mean much. It's kind of like breeding a jungle carpet python to a coastal carpet python. They're the same subspecies, but obviously very different traits. So these are Calatoa type. Most likely they are Calatoa, but our thing is we don't call them Calatoas unless we know they are, because we're trying to do things that are a little bit bigger than just make pet trade animals around here. We want to keep our bloodlines pure. And then we got some of the Jamps. These are sick, dude. Jampeas is the scientific name of the subspecies, but Jampeas are those, but they're even more specific. They're from one particular island, and that's these bad snakes. Look at those. I want them to shed so I can see. It's like a slow motion reveal. It drives me insane. Look at the pattern on this one. This is great, dude. We got like tons of variety. I love it. Coming from like a highly selectively bred captive line to a wild caught. Like, look at this sick patterning up here. It's cool, kind of like aberrant striping on this one. Unmistakable Jamp. Even in shed, you can see like these big, almost Sulawesi triangular looking tails, but they're still like wide swaths of color on the side. These ones are very silvery. Their mom was a visual anery, so these should all be head aneries. But that one's pretty sick. We got a pretty good sized clutch. There's a number of babies here. I plan to be fairly greedy with keeping them though. The whole point of this breeding was to establish this, or re-establish this bloodline in the US. Look at that one. These have a lot fewer saddles than the Kalatoas. You know, science is really behind the pet trade in a lot of ways, especially with these locality retics, because they're very understudied. So saying, hey, they're all one subspecies, that might be cool until they switch subspecies on you, then you're screwed because you mixed all your bloodlines. Because, you know, originally when they were making Jampea albinos and stuff like that, that was all one subspecies. Then they changed it, you know what I mean, to 2 subspecies, and so now you're like, oh no, those are mutts or whatever. Well, it would be a pain to be breeding, get a bunch of like rare locality animals in, try to collect up a bunch of, say, wild caught stuff that came in without data, and then just mix them all together without any data. I mean, it's fine for if you want to make small snakes for the pet trade, that's great, but it's a little bit different for people who are like pure locality enthusiasts. That's kind of like, I don't know, it's what gets me going anyway. Awesome. Look at this. Look how it's got like, tries to have a side rosette up there in the triangle and then another one there. So it's like white. And when you see these on cool traits on hatchlings, those are going to look awesome as adults. Because those things are going to be huge. Even on a modestly sized one. You know, mom was like 10 or 11 feet. If you really know what you're looking for, you can see a lot of these cool traits. Like, see the little silver flames surrounded by these golden background color? These are going to look sick when they shed. I'm pretty happy with these. Alright, I think Tori's here. Hey,
hi.
You could just come in. We're filming, by the way. Welcome to your first day.